Okay, starting up the stream. Welcome all. Night City Wire episode 4. Today, probably one of our last in-depth videos from CD Projekt Red. I'm just going to let everybody get in the chat and then we'll start chatting it up. But so far we got about 1,600 of you all. Thank you for joining. I'm not sure what to expect other than we know that this is going to be very much vehicle focused. That's what CDPR has said. This is the teaser that they put out a couple days ago. If you watched my previous video on Cyberpunk 2077, I discussed this a little bit, but on the Discord for Cyberpunk 2077, I chatted a little bit more. I'm really wondering what else they could show with vehicles, if it's just going to be strictly showing off all of the different models in the game, or some of them. Very interested, because we've had information, details in the past saying that certain vehicles, maybe faction rewards for like certain cars, may have different type of modifications made to them. So I think that's pretty cool. Like some of the Nomad vehicles specifically have seems to be some like detection of mines and stuff, so that's pretty cool. So there's certain things that each vehicle is going to have. I just wonder if that's what's going to be shown during this Night City Wire episode. Anyway, thank you all for joining. The stream is about to start in about 15 or so minutes. Here it is right now. Let's see if I can turn the...
The winner of the second place did something that none of us are...
Okay, I'll mute it for now. But if you're not sure what this is, it's... Let me... One sec. Yeah, this is the cosplay contest. This isn't anything new with Cyberpunk specifically, but they do have a cosplay video going on before the main show begins, which, as well, you can't see it right here, but 12 minutes away. 12 minutes away before Night City Wire episode 4. Anyway, the teaser that we got so far with footage was this one, a Mizutani vehicle. We see some Strict 6 Street gang members battling it out. That was the first one. There was actually a couple of others I didn't get to put in my last video because they have since came out. We have this one showing, I'm not sure if some of you have seen this or not, but yeah, we have some racing with a motorcycle down the streets of Night City. Pretty cool. And then here's another one. This is just showing off some of the destruction I guess you can have. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. These are some of the teases that they've given before. This is all going to be included in this vehicle episode. I'm just wondering how long it's actually going to be. Marcin Mamat has said that... going to be a 25-minute episode. So if you're curious about how long this is going to go on for, there it is. 25 minutes in total. And there has been some interesting teases. If you don't follow me on Twitter, I highly recommend that you do so. But this is what Porsche, I'll actually just say what I wrote. Porsche just uploaded yesterday the following video to their Instagram. Some sort of partnership with Cyberpunk 2077 is happening and will likely be announced tomorrow during Night City Wire episode 4, which is now. Teases imply that this is Johnny Silverhand's car, which is supported by Cyberpunk lore. So if you haven't seen the video, here it is. So,
and again, it just works.
Thank you for the donation, guys. Athena, thank you for the $2.99. So, what do I mean by this is in Cyberpunk lore? Well, Johnny Silverhand actually had a Porsche.
And again,
thank you for the donation, David. Yeah, he had a Porsche in the mini adventure Never Fade Away in Cyberpunk 2020. Here it is. That's actually what's cited. Thank you to the Reddit user who found this. And then some people actually found a further connection, which if you actually look at the tattoo on Johnny Silverhand's arm, it matches what's on the teaser that Porsche gave out a few days ago on the vehicle. So seems like there could be a in-game Porsche-like vehicle. Some people, I believe it's the Porsche Turbo 930, which people are saying, so that's pretty cool. I guess some type of partnership. A lot of people like the idea of having that vehicle in the game, so it's going to be pretty cool, I guess. But that'll be something that's revealed, a partnership between CDPR and Porsche. A lot of partnerships with this game. So anyway, chat, let me know, what do you guys expect from this Night City Wire episode 4 I'm going to read over. We still have about 10 more minutes until the main show begins. So if you are just getting in here, we're just minutes away. Just reading it over. Yeah, anyway, yeah, here we go. Okay, the cosplay video ended. We're 9 minutes away.
Again, it just works.
Gorilla Assassin says, "Hey Legacy, big fan. Let's hope we learn something about customizing vehicles." Well, the thing is about that, CDPR has said that there's not going to be vehicle customization. I still wonder if there's going to be any ways to, you know, customize it even a little bit. Like, I know there's not going to be some huge Grand Theft Auto 5 like Los Santos customs for us to make vehicles and such, but I do wonder if there's going to be any way to just, I guess, give our vehicles certain identity a little bit, maybe color, even just something minor. I'm just curious. This is all, they have said for sure that there's no car customization, so I don't know if that just means the entirety, or I guess we'll find out. But I know a lot of people have been looking forward to that. Maybe that is something they look forward to post-launch, but we'll have to see. Thank you for the donation, Steve Connor. He says, "What will be your start? Be specific. Do you mean my life path? Because I'm planning to be a nomad. I was originally going corpo, but nomad. I like the idea of being an outsider coming into Night City for the first time." Pavel, also thank you for the donation. I just saw that. Yet Weirdo Human Plays Games says, "Street races. That's going to be pretty interesting." Maybe that's something that they do show. Some people like the idea of seeing some death matches with street racing. That'll also be pretty cool. Thank you guys all for the donation so far. Pretty wild, though, that this is going to be...
And again, it just works.
One of our last streams for Cyberpunk 2077. Of course, I'll have some post-launch stuff, but I mean in terms of CDPR streams with new information and stuff. Yeah, Gorilla Assassin...
And again, it just works.
Gorilla Assassin says, "I meant things like colors and decals." Yeah, that's possible. I just don't know. I don't want to get my hopes up because they have said that car customization is not going to be a thing. So if you're just getting in here right now, we're about 6 minutes away, just chatting it up right now with what to expect. There's been some teases. This is going to be a heavily focused vehicle heavy gameplay video, I guess, if that's what you want to describe it. They've teased some other announcements and such, but we'll have to see. Yeah, I'm doing good, guys. We're just getting ready. I'm just reading through the chat right now. Thank you guys all for the donations. I'm just going to read this off because some of these aren't actually popping up on the screen, but Alan Fox says it would be pretty cool to actually drive Johnny's car. I want to believe that may be something that we can find in the game. I'm hoping that's what this partnership with Porsche is, that it's actually something that we can find in the game. Sassy Sassworth, thank you for the dono.
And again, it just works.
Yeah, I'll have to figure that out with the stream and trying to make sure that these donations pop up live while I'm actually talking, but Red Dread says, "Is Cyberpunk 2077 VR likely coming at some point?" I mean, I would imagine so sometime. First-person perspective kind of makes sense. At least that's what I think. Christopher Garcia says, "I know it was established, but what was your favorite gang?" I don't know, honestly. I think the Valentinos. I think the Valentinos, but it's hard to say until we actually play the game, you know? Taiga Shock says, "Nomad Gang, rise up."
And again, it just works.
Yeah, again, if you're just getting in here, we're about 5 minutes away until the stream begins. Moist Deluxe says, "New footage, keep up the great work, man." Thank you very much. Cascom says, "The Porsche maybe can explain why the only premium cars in Cyberpunk are from England and Spain, but there are none from Germany." Maybe. Again, this is all assuming what this Porsche partnership is, because all we have is this short little video teaser, I guess.
And again, it just works.
So, again, if you're just getting in here, I see we got about 3,400 in here now. This is what they teased before.
How long after launch do you predict it releasing?
Story DLC. If you watched my last video, some people have been predicting that the going to the moon colony could be DLC, and I actually think that could be something that we do see happen. So definitely we're going to have some big story content. When it actually comes, it's going to be a while. I think probably mid-2021, May, June, somewhere around there. It's going to be a while, though. So don't expect it anytime soon. I think that's what people should.
And again,
it takes time for this DLC, and it was worth it with The Witcher 3, and I think it, again, will be worth it with Cyberpunk. And also remember, immediately after launch, there's going to be DLC, free DLC and stuff, so probably like new outfits and maybe even weapons and small things. But big story DLC,
it just works.
I would expect probably middle 2021, then later in the fall. That's probably being a little hopeful if we're being honest here. David Ewing says, Ewing? He says, are they honoring Kobe Bryant in the game? They are a little bit. Like, there was a tattoo with one of the recent gameplay videos, but I don't know if we're going to see anything further than that. But that's all I know of so far, that they are honoring him a little bit.
And again, it just works.
Ethan Davis says, any chance to betray Johnny or walk from the story? It's honestly hard to say right now. Alright guys, we're about 2-3 minutes away. I get on over here. I'll keep on reading off these chats, and I'm going to mute the alert button so don't disrupt what you guys are hearing once the stream begins. And as usual, I'll try to, be a little quiet while we watch. Austin Picard says, what type of build do you think you will run the first time you play through the game? Probably a solo. That'll probably be it. Solo, a nomad. But, I don't know. We'll have to see. Because I'm still, like, going back and forth with what type of character I want to make. Maybe on the second one I'll go Netrunner and Corpo, but we'll have to see. Sassy Sathworth says, was hyped for this game, but your info made me hype as F. I mean, this is an exciting game. We only get games like this every couple years, Like, the last time we had this was Red Dead Redemption 2, and that was in 2018. And I say the hype levels are very close to that. I don't know if it exceeds it, but it's very, very close. And thank you for becoming a member, Sassy Sassworth. Actually, let me mute the alert so we don't hear that anymore. Russell Abernathy says, to fully experience Cyberpunk, what do you think the minimum number of playthroughs will have to be? I think it will take at least 3 for each life path.
And again, it just works.
It's hard to say, honestly. It really is. I'm not entirely too sure. 3 for each? I don't know. I mean, I think 3 for probably just taking out each of them. That's why I don't really care too much about the size of the game. Some people go crazy about that stuff, but personally, I mean, the length of the story specifically, that's what I mean. Alright, let me make sure I mute everything. Okay. Alright, guys. Whew. We got stream. Let me get the audio up. Make sure everything sounds good. I'm going to turn the audio all the way up in a minute, so if it sounds low, just let me know if the audio sounds good, people. Roblox Gamer asking, do you think they're going to add drivable flying cars? I don't see that happening. It doesn't sound like that's something that they were able to do, so this may be something way post-launch. Maybe. Or maybe something in a sequel. That's why specifically not with a DLC or anything. Finally, last one. Gorilla says, this game may be blasphemy, but I think the game will blow RDR2 out of the park. Anyway, guys, thank you for all the donations, and the stream is starting now. So yeah, let it begin. See what CDPR has for us with episode 4 of Night City War.
You don't believe in no fate. Every day digging the grave. Stepping up here with the stakes. City of dreams, city of...
Welcome to Night City Wire, Episode 4, the show from us at CD Projekt Red, where we talk about all things Cyberpunk 2077. We're going to start today's episode by giving you a look at just some of the vehicles you might procure during your time in Night City, and having a chat to senior vehicle artist Paul, who's going to give us a little bit more information before we take you behind the scenes and a look at the lengths the teams have gone to bring vehicles to life. We're also going to have news on an exciting collaboration. Then we're going to be talking about fashion and styles in Night City before we recap the incredibly talented finalists in our Cyberpunk cosplay contest. We'll then wrap up today's episode with some news about Stadia. There is a lot to talk about, so let's get started.
Stadia news. Interesting. I don't think they actually have a release date for Stadia, though. Okay. It's the vehicle footage. Rides of the Dark Future.
In a huge open world like Night City, you need a chill ride to get around fast. And in Cyberpunk 2077, there are tons of cool vehicles to choose from.
Get this. 4-liter engine, 6-cylinder, goes from 0 to 100 in 3.2 seconds. You fucking believe that?
We've crafted every car and motorbike with amazing attention to detail. On the chassis, the body, not to mention the interiors. You can expect every one not only to look unique, but to deliver a unique driving experience.
All right, show me what you got.
Don't expect advanced tech or luxurious materials here. Nuh-uh.
Yeah, it's not the size that counts, I guess.
This class is mostly utility vehicles and low-end clunkers made for every pocket.
The first car was
Hold on. It's a wreck.
Uh-huh, my damn wreck.
Well, definitely no guy or girl magnet.
If you need to impress, look to this class alone.
I'm putting my ride on the line. Either you match it in cash, or you can forget about the fight.
With these wheels, no expense has been spared, no frill ignored. Their plush interiors decked out in all the latest tech, while you get to sit back and enjoy the ride. Masterful engineering and practical design. Trucks and tanks for when you need power and brute force.
Hell of a machine.
Meet Beast, my pride and joy.
And these monsters are literally unstoppable.
very clear. You can see the variety.
These are for choons who love the smell of exhaust and the roar of street wildlife. Their powerful engines and exchangeable parts make them perfect for tuning.
Come on! I want to smell that choo-choo burn!
Whether it's street racing, running from the NCPD, or just showing off in the streets, with these high-powered beasts, you will have only respect.
Oh yeah, like that!
If you need speed and armor, the Hypercar class is for you. It means precise bodywork, built-in LiDAR arrays, and really expensive materials.
Imagine you're sitting on a pile of eddies. Probably less than 1,000 people in the world can afford the Erendite.
Not your typical urban vehicle.
They will take you places you never dreamed you'd go. Oh, and original vehicles are not all you'll find in 2077. We also found room on our roster for some true automotive icons.
Floor it, V.
Yeah, that's the Turbo 930, I think. The Porsche part.
Paul, thank you so much for joining us. I think it's fair to say we've come a really long way from Roach in The Witcher, so there's a lot to talk about.
Yep, there's a lot to talk about. What do you want to talk about?
Well, let's start with the various classes of different cars, because in the video we saw there were things like economy and luxury vehicles. But can you tell us a bit more about their kind of design philosophy? What does each kind of class offer when people are driving them around Night City?
Absolutely. Depending on
For those asking,
the
that was a
variation of the car that you're either buying or stealing, depending on your flavor, yeah, you'll notice that they don't just look different, but they'll also drive different and feel different. If you're buying or stealing a nice fancy-looking sports color version of a car, you'll notice that it drives, faster, sounds a little bit more punchy and sporty than, for example, a junkier version of that same car. It can have solar panels tied to the roof or some other pipes that are hot wiring some other, cyberpunk components in your car. And, if it looks cheap, it probably drives cheap too.
So it seems that not only do the cars look good on the outside, but there's an awful lot of detail on the inside as well. Things like the dashboard. So can you tell us more about that? Because I know if you find a Quadra Type 66 in the city, it's going to look totally different from the Quadra Type 66 that the gangs are driving out in the Badlands, both outside and inside.
Yep, definitely. If you're about to steal a very nice high-end car, for example, when you get in, you'll see the dashboard light up nicely, you'll see your dial indicators revving a little bit, but that may not exist for a junk version at all. It may have the dashboard ripped out completely. No matter what your flavor is, you'll find something that suits your needs.
So what about racing then? Will there be racing? Because I know people have been asking.
Yes, we're absolutely going to have several races in the game. Different locations, if you know you're going to be driving in the Badlands. Maybe bring a Nomad car, because it's just built to driving in the Badlands. But if you know you're going to be racing in Night City, just bring the hottest wheels you've got, because you're going to need all the power you can get. No matter where you're racing though, you need to bring a gun, because this is Night City and you never know what's going to happen.
I really love the environment.
Okay, so you talk about bringing cars then. Let's talk about like storing and calling cars, because we know people can steal them. But what if somebody's found a car and they absolutely love this particular one? Is there a way for players to kind of build that collection? And then how do they actually, summon them?
Well, summoning cars works pretty much the same as you would summon Roach in The Witcher 3. Your transportation may or may not show up on a roof somewhere, but we're still working on fixing some bugs here and there. But yeah, if there's a car that you really, really like very much, if you can't wait to own a Quadra or a Type 66, you'll get a message from your fixer and says, hey, I've got a Quadra for sale for you, you want to buy it? All you have to do is drive over, pay the money, and you've got your very own Quadra. Not to mention that every single vehicle that you buy, every single player vehicle, is absolutely unique in every way. It's got a unique interior, unique exterior, paint job.
Wow.
It'll sound different, but it'll also handle different.
So in the video, we did mention there was space for a true automotive icon. Do you want to reveal what that actually is?
Of course.
It's
the car in question here is Johnny Silverhand's car. And Johnny Silverhand is, well, he's a big rocker boy and he needs some wheels to match. So we gave him a 911 Porsche from 1977, which means in 2077, Johnny's car is going to be exactly 100 years old.
Well, Paul, thank you so much for your time today. Personally, I think I'm going to try and balance being a super cool badass mercenary and driving a Mai, because I love that little car. I think I could do it, right? I could be cool and in a Mai.
Definitely. Mai is absolutely cool as long as you stay on the road and not on the sidewalk.
I'll try my very best. We'll see. In past episodes, we've said that music plays a huge part in bringing Night City to life, but it's not just music. Our teams went to incredible lengths to recreate and capture the sounds that really bring these vehicles to life. I mean, they might have had some fun driving them, but I'm pretty sure that's just a perk of the job.
Also, I realized I've been saying Porsche wrong for my whole life. Thank you, Chad, for again correcting me, as you usually do. When I mispronounce things often, and very often.
We started with the visuals, and then we wanted to attach a proper sound to the visuals so that you have a nice feeling or a nice vibe of the complete car. And then we moved on to organizing the whole thing. Early on, we made the decision that we are going to record on the racetracks, and then we are going to record cars in movement. We started cooperation with Tomek Choki, who is very, very well-known racing driver in Poland. That's really a nice sensation when you're driving with a racing driver and then he pushes the car to the limits. You can feel the G's with the braking and tight cornering, and you can feel the car actually bending the laws of physics. We wanted to record a broad spectrum of cars, so we started with the powerful muscle cars, and then we went to more screamy tuned V6s, inline 6s, and then we went to V10s. We wanted to grab the off-road cars. We of course grabbed some drift cars, just to have the more aggressive character in the cars. We had to assemble a sound group or a sound team that would make the placing of the mics process very, very fast, because we had plenty of cars to do in a short time span.
We had the team of mechanics from a rally team, and they helped us immensely. What they've done, they allowed us to put the microphones into places that we wouldn't be able to access differently. Putting a mic right into the car, they helped us to locate the places that are best.
Usually place 3 microphones in the engine bay, 3 microphones in the exhaust, and 2 microphones in the car. Cars are very, very complex in terms of sound, and it's very difficult to get all the necessary components that you have to make it sound believable.
But we were trying to look for something that would give us the character of the engine.
We wanted to use normal organic electric engine that you could actually have in the nowadays car.
We didn't want the engines to be futuristic sci-fi-ish sounding. We want them much more organic, much more down to earth, something that would represent the combustion engine. And on top of that, we added small elements like the futuristic horns or like a futuristic UI of a car. It makes you feel like you are in a car of the future, and some car might talk to you, other car might have blips and bobs that will make you feel like you're in a futuristic vehicle.
We wanted to be very, very close to what Mike set up in the lore, and early on we decided to record Johnny's original car, which is the Porsche 911 930 from 1977.
Hey. We recorded on dyno in control environment in a chamber. We could put Mike in very different places. Porsche 930 that we recorded is the only car really that will be really sounding like the real car in the real world.
That's pretty cool. The amount of work that they put into this game is insane.
We recorded more than 40 vehicles.
Not often do we record so many vehicles for a game that is not really a racing game.
Truth being told, this was the hardest part in my sound career, and I'm very, very proud of what we achieved with the sound team. This was something that we didn't do before, so creating the designs, creating the technology behind how the sound behaves, that's the best thing actually I ever did in my sound career.
There has been a lot of talk about cars so far, so let's take a look at another collaboration. This time with Johnny Silverhand. I mean Keanu Reeves.
Hey!
The smell. The travel.
Yeah.
Journey.
The legend himself.
Freedom. No, you know, it's not like deeper. Deep.
I'm Gard Hollinger.
I'm Keanu Reeves.
And we're here as representatives of Arch Motorcycle, and we're doing some audio recording for Cyberpunk 2077. Arch Motorcycle is a custom production motorcycle company. What's unique about it is that the motorcycles are built on a production platform, but each one is designed to be able to be personalized for each customer.
When CD Projekt Red approached me about doing Cyberpunk 2077, they also spoke about integrating. They were fans of, or I guess people who worked at the company were fans of Arch Motorcycle, and so they broached the idea of creating kind of specialized Cyberpunk 2077 version of the Arch Motorcycle. And I thought that was a very fine idea.
Keanu got his own bike in the game. That's pretty cool.
We have a motorcycle we've designed and we've been developing called the Method 143, and so that I think in particular was a creative inspiration for the designers. So they sort of used that as a basis and then went further. So it has a totally different crazy looking power plant.
We did a little customization.
It's good, I like it.
Today we're capturing sounds, getting some actual sounds of a power plant, drivetrain, and characteristics of the motorcycle, which I'm sure they will, have play with and stuff, but the source will be pure.
It has a sort of a racing engine in it compared to our production motorcycles. It has a dual exhaust system, and it sounds pretty...
Sounds good.
I could definitely blindfolded tell that that's the Method 143-ish sounding motorcycle, yeah.
Nature of the role-playing aspect of the game, I think it'll be cool, like, to be on a bike and hearing that going through the city streets and getting into the madness and mayhem.
As with all episodes of Night City Wire, if you're tuning in late or if you just want to watch anything again, we will be uploading everything to our channels soon. Now it's time to talk about styles in Night City. Are you more kitsch or neo-militarism?
Fashion.
Welcome to the brief authoritative history of Night City. This chapter is devoted to so-called styles, deeply linked with the history of the world, and a very important aspect of life in the city.
Menu peek.
You can find them everywhere. In cars, clothes, guns, implants. They are your war paint. As one of our sponsors says, it matters not if you're dead, as long as you're doing it in style.
The moves on this girl! Ooh. Swoosh, swoosh! Slicing them up like sashimi!
4 visual styles are evident in the Night City of 2077, each with its own history, status, and features. Neon hair, illuminated tattoos, and chrome. Function comes second. Looks are what matter.
Here with you, and we got another day ahead of us in this city of dreams.
The Fourth Corporate War broke out, and entropism was born. Vast and deep crises forced people to find ways to survive by any means. Getting the job done, no matter how, was the primary goal. The look? Who cares?
I love this town. Love it like you might love a mother who popped you out on the steps of an orphanage once and now stops you to ask if you got a smoke for her.
Fuck them. Fuck this job. Fuck this city.
Deadly elegance without ostentation. Corporate, militaristic fashion, mostly seen in the wealthier parts of town. Substance over style, that's the motto. Celebrities, brain dance stars, business magnates, heirs to corporate fortunes and corporate executives. They abandoned the cold, deadly elegance of neo-militarism and returned to the roots of kitsch, but gave it a fresh, new look.
Oh shit, these hands. Sometimes it seems like I just brushed something and sparks fly.
Oh, Wizzy Wizzy.
Thank you for your attention. We wish you a very pleasant stay in our marvelous metropolis. Good luck, and goodbye.
NC's Legends! Know where you'll find most of them? The graveyard. Luckily, matters not where you're from, matters not where you start. What matters here is the walk you walk.
Corporate view looking pretty good right there. This is all just the fashion of Night City. They actually look pretty nice.
Just before this episode started, you might have tuned in early and seen our Cyberpunk cosplay contest finale. But just in case you've missed it, we've prepared a little summary for you featuring our very talented finalists. In the Cyberpunk cosplay contest, we asked our very talented community to cosplay a character from the game based on the art, screenshots, videos, cosplay guides, etc. We thought regular trophies weren't quite cool enough, so we decided that the top 3 will receive detailed props based on weapons from the game. They have been specifically made for this occasion, and the winners can do with them as they please. And now, the 12 best Cyberpunk cosplayers who have competed for first place in the first official Cyberpunk 2077 cosplay contest. Are you ready to meet them?
Cool the dedication some have to this craft. Insane what people can do. What the heck just happened? Well, that's not nice.
Now, before we wrap up today's episode, there is one more thing to talk about.
Stadia. If we're gonna get there, Jesus. Oh, so I hate Twitch. Come on, Twitch, we can do it. I'm gonna have to reload the page. Yeah, oof, really. So annoying.
Shortly, and we'll be back with Night City Wire episode 5 soon. No, actually, there is one more thing we're going to show you. Welcome to the diner.
Live action
So what do you
video.
want?
Yeah, ask in the
Supercar?
chat, seriously. What
Big house. You want to rule this city?
Ooh, okay.
Well, you ain't getting anywhere without an upgrade. You need a softer touch. Stronger's fine, because taking over Night City ain't gonna be easy.
I'll go back afterwards. We'll see what
I'm in. Cyberpunk 2077. Available November 19th.
I think that's it. I'm gonna have to go figure out. Okay, that's Twitch. I missed the Stadia announcement. I mean, I don't really. Let's see. Is it gonna continue? No. Okay, that's. They're streaming something else afterwards. One sec. All right, for those who missed it with me.
Regular trophies weren't quite place in the first thing we're going to show you. Welcome to the diner for our post show. As always, don't forget that if 2077 was coming to Stadia.
Alright, here we go. Jeez, I apologize about that. This is why I don't usually like streaming over Twitch, because sometimes it does
Now, before we
this.
wrap up today's episode, there is one more thing to talk about. Previously, we announced that Cyberpunk 2077 was coming to Stadia, and today we can tell you that it is arriving on November 19th alongside other platforms,
okay.
and pre-orders are starting now. Night City Wire is almost over, but if you do want just a little bit more, then stay tuned right here on the Twitch channel and join us for our post-show. As always, don't forget that if you've missed anything or if you just want to watch again, we will be uploading everything to our channels shortly, and we'll be back with...
Okay, we've already seen that. I think that's it for now. I know that they're co-streaming. It's probably an interview or such. We'll talk about that later. But, let me go to the channel. We'll go through, because I did see some interesting things. Like, we saw the character creation menu if you looked closely. This is obviously hinting at a, live action video to come. Probably a longer one. Jesus, okay. Let's see if I can... I actually think that this is a mini-game that they're hiding. This has to be the mini-game that they've been hiding. What are your thoughts on everything that we saw? I think that the weather effects, environmental effects are really cool. I just kind of always get discouraged at the ending whenever Twitch has those little hiccups, but Twitch will be Twitch. Like, YouTube, I prefer streaming over YouTube just because it's more reliable, but at the same time, like, it compresses the video, so it doesn't look as good. That's always been one of my gripes with YouTube. So both of them have their little hiccups and issues, but we made it through most of the show. All we missed was the Stadia announcement. And I don't think most of you are probably playing Cyberpunk on Stadia. At least I don't think. So, let's see.
Aspect of life in the city.
Let's see if I can find it.
Called styles. Deeply linked.
There we are. So this is what the character creation menu looks like now. Voice, tone, feminine. That's how you choose your, I guess, your gender. You just choose a voice. Skin tone. You can choose your skin tone, skin type, hairstyle, hair color. Then you have your eyes. Presets, some of them in store. So that is the character creation menu. This is what it looks like now. I think it looks a lot better. I think that they went off of what they did in 2018, which I think that's good, because I think that the red just looks a lot better than the brown that they tried doing in the 2019 deep dive video that they showed. I just feel like it didn't work, so I'm glad they went back to this red theme. People are saying I missed the ending. If you're talking about the live action little tease, I saw that. Yeah, people, I did watch it.
With the history.
I mean, we'll go back over it if you want to. It's only 39 seconds, and it's just a live-action video. But I mean, let me duplicate. One sec. We'll go. I mean, if you want, if you're saying I missed it, I mean, Jesus, I'll just show it. Yeah, here's the live-action. We watched this, but.
So what do you want? Supercar? Big house? You want to rule this city?
I mean, I don't usually simp, but...
Well, you ain't getting anywhere without an upgrade. You need a softer touch. Stronger's fine, because taking over Night City ain't gonna be easy.
Wait, was this the full one? Maybe this is the full live action. Yeah, it's only 30 seconds. I kind of thought that this would be like a lengthy 4 or 5 minute one, but I guess not. But still, it looks sick. They'll probably use this in advertising and footage and stuff. Pretty cool. I mean, it doesn't show anything about the game. I never really cared for CGI stuff just because, I mean, it looks pretty good, like I said. But yeah, they'll use this in TV marketing to get people to come and probably buy the game, hopefully. Anyway, back to what we were talking about before. So, if there's any specific things that you guys thought I missed, let me know in the chat, because some of these clips went by real fast. But first we have the fashion video. Let me duplicate. Let me open up the video for the vehicles. There's a lot shown in here. I mean, A lot of different vehicles. Pretty cool, honestly. Keanu stuff. Alright, we'll come back to this in a minute.
Ride to get of the world.
So yeah, I think this may be the mini game that they've been teasing. Pool. I think that there's some type of mini game that they're hiding, and they showed this in the 2018 trailer, and again here it is. It kind of just makes sense that we would be able to play pool. I mean, is that the big mini game that they've been hiding, or I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Did I say IRL trailer? I thought I said that was a CGI. The footage we went over. I don't know if I did, but that's what I meant.
Implants.
Here we have Johnny. It looks like interrogating someone through this. I mean, this is going to be a brain dance with Johnny. We're going to have some moments with him. That's why I'm wondering, is the Porsche, if we're able to actually get it, or is this like part of a brain dance or something? Yeah, I mean, the art styles, it looks... I think what I love about Night City so far, from everything that we've seen, there's just so much variety. Like, there's just... Everybody looks different. It doesn't look plain. Like, I think that's one thing that separates it from other open-world games, and it just... There looks like there's so much more personality to this world. That's what I really appreciate from everything that we saw today. Like, I think people, like, they'll crap on the size of the map or whatever, but... Geez, you have to admit that all the environments, everything looks so detailed. It looks beautiful.
Styles are evident in the Night City.
Yeah, much of this we've already gone through. My head was hurting from this. Just because I had scrolls over, but...
Stanley here with you, and we got another day ahead of
Yeah, I mean, I thought that there was going to be some type of customization, maybe. I was kind of... I mean, I wasn't... It's not a deal breaker for me, but I thought that was something. Gorilla Assassin says, I feel like there's going to be flashbacks of Johnny, sort of like what we saw in The Witcher 3 with Ciri. Maybe. That's actually pretty interesting, an interesting theory. We've seen quite a bit of footage with Johnny so far, so that actually is a interesting thought to think about.
Was the primary goal. The look? Who cares?
I love this town! Love it like you might love a mother who popped you out on the steps of an orphanage once and now stops you to ask if you got a smoke for her!
Very interesting. Is that a crash ship? Yeah, it is. Interesting. Yeah, if there's anything I missed, let me know in the chat, guys. Did I see the Porsche tweet from the Cyberpunk account? No, I have not. Did I miss anything? Let's see. Google Stadia on November 19th. That'll help all 10 people. I gotta stop being so mean to Stadia, but you guys get it. Availability of Cyberpunk 2077 on Stadia depends on the availability of Stadia in your territory. Okay. Porsche. Okay, this is the... Oh, they uploaded the full video. Okay. It's sucky. Okay, whatever. So here's the full video of that Porsche tease that they showed. Did they? I don't think that they showed this in the stream. I don't think they did. I wish I could make it full screen, but. That was kind of cheesy, but cool, I guess, you know? Not much more to say about that than just, yeah, looks pretty cool.
Deadly elegance without.
I think it's a pretty cool car. I think the trailer's a little cheesy, but it's fine. It gets the point across. Oh, here we haven't seen this shot in a while. So here's an updated look at Meredith Stout. I think the lighting looks so much better in a lot of this footage, and here we have the end of that 2018 gameplay video in which Militech agents come in and let me go back a second. I think you can see like their eyes. I think that's so cool. Yeah, their design, I think the Militech, they've upgraded the design. It looks a lot better than what it did before. She does look angry, and that's what she should look like, right? Yeah, Meredith is a romance option if you didn't know already. And then this is very interesting. So this has to be in North Oak, I would imagine, some type of corpo meeting. Everybody's staring at V, I guess. Arasaka bodyguards, you can see them. Very interesting.
Deadly elegance of neo-militarism.
Okay, so we got some more of this. I think that this is again North Oak. In the background, you can see with the trees and everything. That's what it stands out from the rest of Night City.
And returned to the roots of kitsch, but gave it a fresh, new look. Oh,
yeah, and here's the celebrities of Night City.
Brush something and sparks fly.
Okay. So let's go back to the vehicle. I haven't really talked about this yet too much.
Get around fast. And in Cyberpunk 2077, there are tons of cool vehicles to choose from.
Get this. 4-liter engine, 6-cylinder. Goes from 0 to 100 in 3.2 seconds. You fucking believe that?
We've crafted every car and motorbike.
Let's see. I got a chat from Other Side Guy with the Tendono. Thank you. He says, if they add the Porsche and other real cars, then that means real-life cars existed, and so adding real cars up to the 2000s would fit in the universe and not break lore. And before mod that adds real cars. Well, there already are. It's based on, I guess, I'm not too familiar with the Cyberpunk lore, like, not as to the extent of, like, Mad Queen. She just knows everything, but I know that the Porsche does exist in the Cyberpunk universe. It was mentioned. We talked about this early on in the stream, that it was actually mentioned that this is like a car that Johnny Silverhand had, so it does make sense. I don't think we're going to see other cars like Dodges and Chevys and whatnot. Like, the vehicles that already are in the game are based on that, but yeah. Do you think they're going to add the Cybertruck? I actually thought that was something that they would show as like a tease in this video. Grimes is in the game, so I don't really see why not. Elon wouldn't have like, say, yeah, let's just throw it in some free marketing. So yeah, I'm kind of, maybe that's a secret, something we have to find in the game. Maybe. This is all assumptions I'm making here, but I just thought it kind of made sense for the Cybertruck to appear in Cyberpunk 2077. Felt like a match made in heaven. And there was also like tweets and stuff that teased at it being a possibility, so
with amazing attention to detail. On the chat.
Yeah, I mean, I dig the first person perspective. I really do.
Body.
I think it's just so, looking at the beauty of the world, look at the streets, the lighting effects. I think that's the most impressive thing I've seen so far with Cyberpunk 2077. It's just the weather effects. Everything looks so beautiful. And also, I mean, the environmental building, I should say. Like I said this before, some people will be, they want this huge Ghost Recon Wildlands-sized world, but I don't know. I'd prefer maybe something smaller, more vertical, like this game actually is, and more detail. And I think we're seeing that in these videos, and I appreciate it. I don't need this giant, huge open world size. Is so overrated, in my opinion, just because a lot of the time it's just dead land.
Not to mention the interiors.
Yeah, and here we get some car destruction. I'm pretty sure this is street races going on right here.
You can expect everyone not only to look unique, but to do interiors. You can expect everyone.
This right here, just the effects, it looks so cool. And is this like some type of obstacle course? Is it?
Not only to look unique, but to deliver.
Yeah, if you can see it at the top very closely. Let me slow it down. You see that? So is this like some type of obstacle course or a part of a street race? Maybe street race. Off-road.
One.
Interesting. Interesting.
Unique driving experience.
Yeah, and I will say that even though there isn't any vehicle customization, I think it is pretty cool, though, that all these vehicles look distinctly different. They all look different, which is good, because some of these open-world games in years past, whether that be Watch Dogs or Grand Theft Auto, I feel like a lot of the cars just look exactly alike. So hopefully that is, I mean, if there is not going to be car customization with changing color and decals and such, I do hope that there's just enough variety with different type of paint jobs and such, and skins on cars. Maybe that's some of the free DLC that comes after release as well.
Alright, show me what you got.
And here's the economy class. I love that like little Fiat type vehicle.
Don't expect advanced tech or luxurious materials here.
It's just such an adorable little vehicle, I gotta say.
Not the size that counts.
I mean, the Grand Theft Auto comparisons are not going to stop. This is just... I still think 7-8 years later, Grand Theft Auto 5 is the gold standard in terms of, I guess, open world non-westerns, I guess, if that makes any sense. Like, Watch Dogs has been trying to capture that, but I feel like it never has been able to. And there really isn't any other games that I think come close to what Rockstar achieved in 2013. At least that's my opinion. I know Electronic Arts is planning to do something, but they never did. But yeah, the comparisons with Grand Theft Auto 5 are just going to happen no matter what, people. Unfortunately. Like, all the action and everything, even though this isn't a RPG, I think people need to understand. This is an RPG first.
I guess.
And I think, yeah, this is Japantown. Looks like just driving through people.
This class is mostly utility vehicles and low-end clunkers made for every pocket.
Hold on. It's a wreck.
My damn wreck.
Well, definitely no guy or girl magnet.
Very cool stuff so far. Look at North Oak. North Oak just looks so good. I can't wait to explore that region specifically.
Press. Look to this class alone.
I'm putting my ride on the line. Either you match it in cash, or you can forget about the fight.
Yeah, and I know
and again, it just works.
I know that this is an RPG and open world, but people confuse it and make it out to be that it's an action shooter open world when it's RPG, story first. So just something that should be noted, I guess.
With these wheels, no expense has been spared, no frill ignored. Their plush interiors decked out in all the latest tech, while you get to sit back and enjoy the ride. Masterful engineering and practical design. Trucks and tanks for when you need power and brute force.
Hell of a machine.
Yeah, I don't know who's spamming in the chat, but chill out with that. I'm gonna time out some people who are
And
doing
these
that.
monsters are literally unstoppable.
Anyway, we're going to wrap up the stream in a little bit, but let me know in the chat, what do you guys make of Night City Wire Episode 4? I thought that we saw more than I personally expected. We got quite a bit of new gameplay. Like, we're not going to see straightforward missions and such like we did in 2018, 2019. It's like little small clips giving glimpses to Night City. And I think that's all I personally need at this point.
These are for chooms who love the smell of exhaust and the roar of street wildlife.
Yeah, look at that. Also, if you're just getting in here, if you haven't, consider subscribing and do hit the like button if you have enjoyed the stream. I am planning to do more live streams like this in the future, hopefully with a webcam on so you can see my beautiful, beautiful face. And also because, I like chatting with you guys about stuff, and hopefully we'll do more live streams beyond just Cyberpunk.
They're powerful engines.
But at release, that's my plan, to hopefully do some streams, just non-spoiler videos, of course, but Yeah, like this is the stuff I hope we see in more vehicles, just distinctively different looks for cars. Yeah, I mean the effects on the vehicles look great.
Whether it's street racing, running.
And then the environmental effects I was talking about, like this dump nastiness, I just love it. I really do. This is what separates it from other open worlds. It's just the environmental artists at CDPR have done a phenomenal job bringing Night City to life, and I really cannot understate that enough. And so far from all the previews and everything I've read, this is really what everybody's been complimenting CDPR on. It's just the environment. It just looks so good. Specifically, that's like the main thing that's been. But what do you guys make of everything? I want to know in the chat. Let me know. I'm going to read over some of the responses. Yeah, I love all the attention to vehicles, says Tyler Dowd, for sure. Are you going to stream episode 5, Firestar 555555 says, yeah, of course. That'll probably be the launch. I mean, episode 5, I imagine, is probably going to be the launch, Night City Wire launch version, I guess, episode. So I'd imagine probably a month from now, just a couple of days before launch. And that's probably going to be the final one. Like, I don't think we're going to see any more Night City Wires after that until eventually there is, if there is another Cyberpunk game in the future. Unless they do something for DLC, but I imagine that the DLC will just come in that launch. They'll talk about it a little bit, and that's when they'll show it. That's at least my expectation. I said that in my last video that two more Night City Wires left. This one and then a launch one. So. Jan says, if you read the red information about the cars, you can see style kitsch, which means every car gets at least 4 styles. Well, I mean, I think there may be 4 styles, but it doesn't mean that there's different variants with colors and such, so I don't think it's just limited to 4. If that's what you're trying to say, I'm not sure. But actually, I probably should read over what they were, because I haven't had a chance. So we got the group, sports car for the Quadra, model, Turbo R, country, new USA, production year 2055 to 2062, style kitsch, so that's what you were talking about, Jan. Horsepower 608, curb weight 1453, body coupe J, seats 3, number of doors 4, door mount. Okay, well, it hasn't finished, but fold and windscreen glass. And like, it seems like certain vehicles will have different types of screens and such. That's something that we talked about in a recent video, so that'll be pretty cool. Especially if you're going into the Badlands. The Badlands, there's certain cars that just are suited better for that environment, which is why I think certain vehicles will, they'll stand out better. Okay, let me keep playing this.
In the streets, with these high-powered beasts, you will have only respect.
Yeah, look at that, just so beautiful. Here we have a bridge to some sort. Very cool.
If you need,
I'm just pausing every second, trying to look around to see if there's anything I missed. Yeah, it's a 930, I know, for the Porsche.
Speed and armor, the hypercar class is for you. It means precise bodywork, built-in LiDAR arrays, and really...
So there are different, yeah, you can see it even in some of this information, that it's just a little different with some of the details specifically, with how the cars work. So, like, I wonder if, let me go back to the beginning with the cheap cars, like, is the windscreen, like, not glass, or...
Yeah, it's not the size that...
Okay, so it's... just making sure.
I like that.
Means
imagine you're sitting on a pile of eddies.
Gorilla Assassin says, is it too much to ask for Midnight Club level car customization? I think people need to understand car customization is just a lot of work, so yeah, I mean, maybe that's something they do after launch, but it is a lot of work.
Probably less than 1,000 people in the
But
world
yeah, I think a lot of
can
people
afford
definitely are let down that that's something that's not going to be included in
urban.
the game. And there's actually our first, I think that's the first type of vehicle that has a different windscreen, Crystal Dome. And the door mount is a swing. These are the expensive cars. Rayfield, Erendite.
They will take you places.
Yeah, and this is... Again, this is on the outskirts of Night City. Can't tell exactly where.
You never dreamed you'd go. Oh, and original vehicles are not all you'll find in 2077. We also found room on our roster for some true automotive icons.
Floor it, V.
Floor it, V. Okay. So V does at some point obtain the vehicle. I was just making sure. I was curious if this wasn't limited to just a brain dance or something. Very cool. Very cool, guys. I'm going to wrap up the stream in just a minute or two. Let me know if there's anything else you guys want to mention in the chat that I haven't, if I missed. Rentspan says, so the enemy AI has to be on point, lacks any game-breaking glitches, and has to include everything they said they were going to. Okay. Harold with the 19, can't tell what currency that is, but thank you for the donation. Greetings from Ohio, Peanut Brother Jay. Nice to see all of you from all across from the world. So yeah, if you are just getting in here or haven't really watched this entire stream, we got two really big new videos, one for vehicles and one on the fashion of Night City.
And again, it just works.
As I predicted, I think that we have one more stream left. I think that'll be probably in another month, and again, of course, I will be streaming that. And I'll have another video probably in the coming days summarizing a lot that was shown here and whatever else follows, because there usually is interviews and such. Mario says, how do you steal cars? I think you just do it Grand Theft Auto style, run up to somebody and throw them out the window, or throw them out the door, I guess. Kyle says, what are you going to talk about next after Cyberpunk 2077 comes out? That's a good question. A lot of people have been asking that. I mean, Red Dead was a big focus for a long time. Cyberpunk, I'm not sure. Maybe God of War Ragnarok will be a big focus. I don't know if I'm going to go too hard with Grand Theft Auto, if we're being honest, but... Cast Calm donates saying, icons so more than one. Let me see. What do you mean by that? Icons more than one? Maybe somebody in chat can tell me. RN, I think you can just steal the car if you want to. Tibby says, can we expect a detailed breakdown video from you eventually? Yes. I mean, I'm going to take my time on it, but... see what else, if there's any other news to put in the video. But I mean, that is a good question. I am curious to see what else after Cyberpunk.
Either you match it in cash, or you can
but also we are going to have DLC and such, so I'll probably make videos in the DLC. But I mean, for the next month or two, if you are subscribed to this channel, there's going to be a lot of Cyberpunk content, so the news videos aren't going to slow down. I have some other stuff planned. Like, I know I'm going to have a review for the game, going to have a lot of content, so look forward to that. For now, that's my focus, Cyberpunk. After that, we'll have to see.
Forget about the fight.
Somebody, so... did we figure out what does icons mean? Automotive icons. I'm having a very derpy moment right now, chat. Maybe, yeah, Starfield's another game. I'll probably talk about Starfield because I'm very interested to see what Bethesda does after their lovely game that is Fallout 76. Get Jinx says, do you think unprepared cars for Badlands will get damaged by acidic rains? That's actually a really interesting question, and I really don't know. I mean, I would imagine there's got to be some consequences for some of these cheaper cars when using them, so hopefully that is one. It's actually a really good detail that I hope is there. What do you think about the ghosting effect behind moving objects like the cars? I thought it looked fine.
With these wheels, no expense has been spared, no frill ignored. Their plush interiors decked out in all the latest tech. Well,
I mean, I'm gonna obviously download the videos and I'll go through them frame by frame to see if there's stuff I missed, because I'm sure there are. Ooh, do videos on Star Citizen. Guys, if I was to do a video on Star Citizen, we'd be here for another decade or two. I don't even know if that's ever gonna release, like, actually have a full release. Yes, lovely for Fallout 76. That's the nicest way I can put it. But hey, Bethesda is under Xbox now, so maybe that'll change how the company is. Oh, okay, Dick... I got caught saying... Dick Cop says, when talking about the Porsche, they saw automotive icons, not icon. Automotive icons. Let me go back to see. I've been looking at chat, I must have missed what they were saying.
Oh, and original vehicles are not all you'll find in 2077. We also found room on our roster for some true automotive icons.
Floor it, V.
Automotive icons. So maybe, okay, I see what you're trying to say, I think. Automotive icons. So maybe there is more than just a Porsche? Like, interesting, I don't know. They use the S at the end, so interesting. Okay, I see what you meant. Thank you. I had, like I said, chat, I have my derp moments too. Sometimes it happens. Sir, derps a lot. Can we steal and keep any car? I'm pretty sure that they've said that you can, yes. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, icons is... I mean, that's what it sounds like they say. It's plural, yeah, I think.
7. We also found room on our roster for some true automotive icons.
Icons.
Floor it, V.
So yeah, there's probably more than just this 930. Is it going to go beyond just Porsche? Well, I guess we'll find out. Jordan says, do you think flying vehicles would be used for fast travel instead? I don't think that they have... There's no flying at all. Nothing flying vehicles, so... I mean, they could have done that if they wanted to, but it seems like there's just subway terminals and such that you'll go up to. That's the way you'll fast travel. I mean, they could have done that, but... Danis52 said, he seemed a bit evasive when asked about vehicle storage. I'll have to look through the interview again later. With I think it's the vehicle coordinator at CDPR. Look at the diner trailer. I did look at the diner trailer earlier, chat. We've gone through it a couple times now. It's just a CGI video. There's nothing more to it than just that. Jaden the Bit Bad. I thought that they were actually going to go over the music, but they didn't. They went over like the sound effects for cars, but I guess music is still maybe the last episode. They have not gone over radio stations yet. I mean, I guess they're still working on it. There is no third-person mode that's been confirmed for a long, long time. Console footage may be coming in... I imagine it's probably going to come a couple days before launch. Like, they didn't say it was specifically going to happen in Night City Wire Episode 4, but not even be a Night City Wire episode. Like, I love this. The smashed-up cars. I was kind of hoping that we'd see some actual vehicle, like, collisions and stuff, but I guess not. Actually, that is a game I'll probably talk about, Kyle. The Witcher 4. We'll start talking about that probably after this. When do I think a Witcher 4 will come? Probably 3 or 4 years at least. I mean, The Witcher 3 came out in 2015. 5 years later, we're finally getting Cyberpunk. And CDPR has expanded their size, so... Witcher, but also there is Cyberpunk multiplayer that's going to be a focus. So maybe 5 years. It could be 5. It's going to be a while, though. A director's cut version of the game? I don't think so.
It's a wreck.
My damn wreck.
Yeah, I do like I said, the variety is here. Definitely that's what's needed. Photo mode was something they've talked about in the past, Sendu. I'm pretty sure it's all but confirmed. I'm pretty sure they've said multiple times that it is a feature in the game. And some of the screenshots, if you watch my last video, it looks like some of the screenshots did come from a photo mode. Intidem DJ, I don't think they said it was a smaller Witcher game. They said they're working on a Witcher game, period. All we know is that Geralt's not going to be the star of the game. Whether that means that Ciri takes over, or we go in the past with Vesemir, or we do a full-on RPG Witcher style, maybe in the past with some of the schools we can choose from. Who knows? I'll have a video talking about that more later. Like, I actually am planning on something. And Kyle, yeah, next gen, I don't think so. I think we'll see it before the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X era ends.
If you need to impress, look to this class alone.
I'm putting my ride on the line. Either you...
Alright, chat, I'm going to end the video in just a minute or two. Let me know, just going to read through a couple more comments. If you have them, throw in the chat right now. I'm going to, again, more Cyberpunk content coming. I'm going to work on putting something together, so expect that. And hopefully the coming days. I got some other stuff I'm working on as well. Do I think Cyberpunk is going to sell more than GTA 5? No. Grand Theft Auto 5 has sold 120 million copies. I mean, I'm not going... Maybe I shouldn't say no. I'm just going to say it's very, 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 very unlikely. Just because I think Grand Theft Auto 5 is like the second or third most sold game of all time. 7 years after release. That is just... It's unprecedented. But I mean, I think that it could outsell or be on more than The Witcher 3 sold. I definitely think it could sell 20, 30, 40 million copies. For sure. End the stream in a minute or two the third time. Well, okay, Legion. I've been reading the chat. I get away with it a couple times. I don't want to go back to work, Danis52 says. Am I going to try out the new Call of Duty? I already did. I played some of that alpha. Felt like Call of Duty. Didn't really care for it, so, yeah, I mean, it comes out right before Cyberpunk. I'm probably going to be a little too wrapped up in that game, so maybe eventually I don't know. The release date for Stadia is November 19th. Protomaniac, you can go back in the stream. You should be able to go back and watch it from the beginning if you want to. Alright, let's see. Put my little outro. Patreon. I always have to throw up my Patreons. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. These are, and also the channel members. I don't actually have a screen for them, but I probably should put that together. But thank you for everybody who supported this stream and came out. Again, there are going to be more streams in the future for Cyberpunk. Of course, going to stream some gameplay whenever it does come out. Well, obviously November 19th. And then, of course, Night City Wire Episode 5, whenever that does come, if that is the launch version of Night City Wire, we'll be streaming that, so expect more live streams. And again, I'm going to be putting more Cyberpunk 2077 content together in the coming weeks, so expect lots and lots of more content. And if you have not already, do consider subscribing, and if you haven't, please hit that like button. It was definitely a really fun time talking about all of this, and if you have any questions, throw them at me on Twitter. That's where I'm most active on, and I'll actually throw up my outro now and try to close everything in the background, and I'm probably not going to be able to do that, but let's see. There we go. Anyway, all, thank you for coming out. More streams in the future. This was definitely fun. We got to learn a lot about Cyberpunk 2077's vehicles and fashion, and yes, I will be doing breakdowns, and I will have that hopefully up in the next coming days, but thank you all for coming out, and I shall see you all later.